Thank you all for being with us here in San Diego. Appreciate your coming. We have an announcement to make. I want to first recognize the people that are with me. At least let me start off with Karen Flowers, the Special Agent in charge for the San Diego Field Division of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. She will speak on behalf of the federal agencies who have been working with the state agencies and, of course, our local agencies in this effort to try to make sure that we eradicate illegal marijuana grows. I want to acknowledge with me, to my left, is Chief Kevin Gardner, the head of the Division of Law Enforcement at the Department of Justice, and with us as well is Jack Nelson, the Special Agent Supervisor of the program we're here to discuss. And we will turn to Jack if there are some particular questions about some of the operations that have taken place that we're going to be discussing. Today we're pleased to announce that the results of this year's Campaign Against Marijuana Planting, or CAMP program, are in, and we wanted to give you a sense of what's gone on over this last year. The CAMP program is one of the nation's largest and longest-running law enforcement task forces. Since 1983, the CAMP program and its teams have been working tirelessly to crack down on drug trafficking organizations that illegally plant cannabis throughout our state. You can see the regions where we operate as CAMP on this map here. And as you can see, with California being such a large state, there's a lot of territory to cover. It should be emphasized from the outset that the CAMP program is a partnership between the federal, state, and local authorities. We could not do it just one agency at one level by ourselves. It's too big, obviously, for the local governments, whether it's the Sheriff's Department, or whether it's even smaller agencies, some of the small towns and cities that have police departments. They need the state, and we need our federal partners to make this happen. Much of the grow that we're going to discuss happens on public land. In fact, the majority of these illegal grows occur on public land, national and state. That's just one of the many ways that the various levels of law enforcement operate together. We collaborate. We make sure that we, day in, day out, at every level, work to keep the people of this country, and certainly here in California, keep them safe. Our CAMP program works and is made possible by our partners. I've mentioned them, some of them already, but let me give you more details. So I mentioned DEA, and Ms. Flowers will speak in a moment. The U.S. Forest Service, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, the California National Guard, their counter-drug task force, and it would be too many to name, but all the different county and local government law enforcement agencies that we work with throughout the state in the 4 regions that you see outlined in color here. All of us are united in this fight for a simple reason. Illegal planting on public lands hurts everyone. It hurts Californians who want to enjoy our state and national forests. It hurts farmers who depend on access to safe water and healthy soil. It hurts families whose drinking water is polluted by illegal pesticides used on these sites. And it hurts every Californian who wants to play by the rules in our state when it comes to the use and grow of cannabis. It is on behalf of all of these Californians that our CAMP teams accomplished so much this year. Our agents this year eradicated more than 614,000 plants, cannabis plants, and that took place on 254 illegal grow sites. This CAMP team seized more than 110 weapons, and we arrested 52 individuals. Here in the state of San Diego, CAMP eradicated 17,745 marijuana plants that were illegally grown on sites that were not authorized. 9 of the sites were on public land, 2 were on private land. Please keep in mind that the majority of these grow sites are in protected wilderness areas, like the Trinity Alps Wilderness Area in Northern California, or the Palomar Mountains not far from where we are here today in San Diego. These areas have been preserved so that California families can enjoy them, not so that criminals can profit from illegal activity. You can see from the illegal grow photos that we have here, some of the grow sites, you can see some of the bags and bags of fertilizer that are being used. This site was spotted by a camp pilot. The suspects were stealing water from the San Joaquin River to grow the cannabis plants illegally. Our teams ended up removing more than 4,000 pounds of trash and infrastructure from this illegal grow site. In other cases, camp teams find deadly chemicals. Carbofuran, which many of you have heard about, is one of those chemicals that's often used. It is illegal in the United States of America to use that particular pesticide. It is illegal because it's been proven dangerous and deadly. Our teams busted a grow site in a cornfield where that particular pesticide, carbofuran, was being used. And you can understand how dangerous that can be to the people in and around that area, and certainly when you're growing right around cornfields. This toxic pesticide, as I've mentioned, not only is dangerous, but we banned it a long time ago. And the suspects that were using it were risking the health and safety of everyone near that site by adding that chemical to the local water supply. I also want to mention a couple of other things. I want to, for example, take our team in Redding, California, way up north. Soon after evacuating their own homes and families during the wildfires, our agents in Redding volunteered to help evacuate their neighbors in need. Their service to our state went above and beyond the mission of the day and dealing only with cannabis. I wanted to acknowledge them because we should thank them for what they did in protecting not just their families, but the communities that they live in and around. They protected them from all the threats, not just wildfires, but from potential danger and death. With another successful year behind us, we're going to keep moving forward in this effort to protect our public lands, our economy, and our families. All of our state, local, and federal partners will continue working as one team in this fight. With that, let me now turn it over to DEA Special Agent Karen Flowers.
Thank you, Attorney General Becerra.
Yeah,
Other
sorry
side.
about that.
Yes, I'm Karen Flowers. I'm the Special Agent in charge with the Drug Enforcement Administration here in San Diego. And to my right is my Assistant Special Agent in charge, Steve Woodland. He oversees Team 9, which is our narcotics task force team dedicated to all things marijuana. And they are the ones that unite and work the fight with CAMP every grow season. CAMP is a long-standing collaboration between federal, state, and local resources, both law enforcement and community, to target and eradicate illegal marijuana cultivation on public lands. Just a few things I want to make clear. Illegal marijuana on public lands is illegal under state and federal law. Under federal law, marijuana is still classified as a Schedule I controlled substance and is illegal. Illegal marijuana sites on public lands contaminates both the land and the water supply. It harms wildlife and plant life, and it's a danger to the public who are enjoying our public lands, whether they're hiking, camping, with their families and friends, with their animals, because they're exposed to these grow sites if they stumble upon one. The ones we find are not only contaminated with furan, as the Attorney General mentioned, pesticides that are banned here in the United States. They are also equipped with booby traps, weapons. They're contaminated. You have people living on the site. They're armed farmers protecting their growth, their marijuana, their profit. Anybody can stumble into one of those, not just law enforcement on these camp eradication missions. The environmental damage to land and water, we can't quantify the cost. There's no way to measure the damage and how long that's going to last in that land. I can't stress that enough. We come on scenes and there's dead animals, there's dead wildlife who have either eaten the marijuana plant that has been sprayed with furan, or they've eaten something that has also eaten that marijuana plant, or they've been exposed to it as it's laying on the ground. The only reason that marijuana is grown on public lands is for profit. It's circumventing California state law. The grower does not have to get a permit. They don't have to follow health inspections or meet any type of county code or state law. They operate with impunity. It's low cost and it's very high reward. A conservative estimate of the 614,000 plants that were eradicated this year by CAMP is a $2.4 billion operation. That's $2.4 billion of revenue denied to drug traffickers. And these aren't, in general, California drug traffickers. These are Mexican national drug traffickers who are working on behalf of Mexican drug cartels. It's dangerous. CAMP fights this battle every day, every grow season, and on the off-grow season, they're trying to identify sites. They risk life and limb getting to these sites. It's dangerous work. It's grueling work. It's hiking. It's rappelling. It's loading these marijuana plants onto nets and tying them to the helicopters and flying off into the sunset. It's grueling. And I want to thank each and every one of them for what they do every day. Sir?
Yep. Special Agent in Charge Flowers, thank you very much. We will take questions. I just want to add one other thing, because I think Special Agent in Charge Flowers said something that here in California becomes very important. We need to grapple with the illegal grow and the illegal activity occurring around cannabis. We have taken a course to decided that it was better to regulate than criminalize marijuana. But if we don't get a grip on this, the illegal side will overtake the legal side, because the cost of doing it the right way will far exceed the cost of doing it the wrong way. And if people think they can get away with it, they can make a lot more money doing it the wrong way. And so it is up to us in our state, if we're going to do this the right way and regulate cannabis, to get out there and enforce this. And it's going to take an all-hands-on-deck effort where we look to all of our partners to help us with this. And it will take everyone, including the media who are here, to communicate this as well, because we need to get the word out that this new industry cannot get out of hand. We have to make sure we do this the right way, because there are people who are putting down a lot of money to do this the right way, getting licensed, registering, following the rules, when there are those who are undercutting that competition by doing everything the wrong way, illegally, dangerously, hurting not just that industry competitively, but hurting Californians who ultimately pay the price of contaminated water supply systems, degradation to our natural habitat, and damaging of our public and private lands. So we'll take any questions you might ask, and we have some folks who can talk about some of the specific campaigns that were undertaken this past year.